Ronald William Howard was born on March 1, 1954, in Duncan, Oklahoma, into a family already intertwined with show business. His father, Rance Howard, and mother, Jean Spiegel, were both actors who nurtured creativity from the earliest age. By 18 months, Ron appeared in Frontier Woman, unknowingly beginning a lifelong immersion in film. His childhood was a delicate mix of imagination, discipline, and financial uncertainty. Moving to California in the late 1950s intensified his upbringing, as ordinary experiences gave way to sets, scripts, and early responsibilities. It was a golden cage, safe yet isolating. Childhood fame, life as Opie Taylor. Everything changed on October 3, 1960, when The Andy Griffith Show premiered. 6-year-old Ron became Opie Taylor, America's beloved symbol of innocence. Behind the cameras, his father coached him to act honestly, avoiding cuteness, while Ron quietly studied in a small room near Stage 40 at Delu Studios. Playgrounds and ordinary childlike freedom became distant memories. The weight of being everyone's favorite child, while never being fully his own, followed him through adolescence. Even as viewers adored Opie, they could not see the pressures shaping him, teaching early lessons about performance, responsibility, and the hidden sacrifices required by fame, schooling, and hidden anxiety. Balancing education and a burgeoning career brought unique challenges. Ron attended Burbank classrooms while also receiving rushed tutoring near film sets. Every role carried intense preparation, often masking internal struggles from the public. In 1962's The Music Man, 8-year-old Ron feared he couldn't master a complex dance routine. Clever camera angles disguised his anxiety, leaving audiences unaware of the stress beneath the performance. These moments reflected a recurring theme, the disconnect between outward success and private fear. Even as applause followed him, the inner life of a child actor navigating Hollywood's expectations was marked by quiet pressure, missed playtime, and emotional exhaustion. The transition to teenage roles. Following the end of The Andy Griffith Show in 1968, Ron faced adolescence under public scrutiny. Audiences recognized him as a familiar face, yet few understood the pressure carving into his formative years. In 1974, Happy Days offered a second defining role as Richie Cunningham. Once again, he became the image of wholesome youth, adored by millions, but trapped inside a character immune to real-world struggles. Despite the accolades and fan affection, Ron's personal identity wrestled with the weight of expectation, echoing lessons from childhood: to always please, to always perform, to always say yes, even when it conflicted with his own growth. Breaking free, discovering directing. By 1977, at age 23, Ron grew desperate to escape the limitations of acting. Directing became his path to independence and creative expression. Roger Corman's offer to direct Grand Theft Auto marked the first step in a career that would blend innovation and commercial success. From Night Shift to Splash, Cocoon, Willow, and Parenthood, his films showcased a versatility shaped by years of observing human behavior under pressure. Directing allowed him to control the narrative, both on-screen and off, but it also brought new challenges: grueling schedules, extreme responsibility, and the same high expectations that had shadowed his childhood acting career. The toll of ambition. Apollo 13. In 1995, Apollo 13 became a career-defining project, emblematic of both achievement and burnout. The production demanded 612 zero-gravity sequences and 18-hour workdays across 90 consecutive days. The intensity culminated in Ron collapsing on set, a physical manifestation of the emotional and mental toll long carried silently. For a man accustomed to controlling projects and outcomes, these moments revealed the human limits behind Hollywood precision. Beyond technical challenges, the film tested endurance, focus, and personal sacrifice. It was a stark reminder that even success carries costs, often invisible to the public eye. weighing heavier than any awards or critical acclaim. Personal sacrifice, fatherhood, and absence. Perhaps the deepest weight came not from accolades but from personal absence. In 1991, filming Far and Away in Ireland meant 6 months away from newborn twins, Jocelyn and Bryce, leaving his wife Cheryl to manage alone. Returning, he discovered his children barely recognized him, a moment he later described as shattering. Though he tried to prevent repeating this pain, it resurfaced in 2005 during Cinderella Man. Ron's absences forced him to confront a childhood belief ingrained by Hollywood life, to always perform, always prove, always say yes. Despite professional success, private regrets shaped the man behind the lens. Reflections on family and loss. By 2025, during his 50th wedding anniversary, Ron expressed a desire to trade awards for time with his children. Family, he realized, was a realm no script could perfect. Compounding this, his younger brother Clint shared the rare experience of Hollywood upbringing. Clint survived addiction after a 1990 ultimatum, but now battles a serious, life-altering illness. For Ron, accustomed to problem-solving on set, this is a struggle he cannot direct or fix. These familial challenges reveal a vulnerability invisible to audiences, showing that the emotional costs of life in Hollywood often outlast the glories and accolades. Legacy and lessons learned. As Ron Howard turns 71 with a legacy estimated at $200 million, he reflects on decades spent telling other people's stories while sometimes neglecting his own life. His journey illustrates the tension between public adoration and private sacrifice, showing how early fame, professional ambition, and relentless expectation shape both triumph and regret. Beyond his contributions to film, Ron's reflections highlight the human cost of artistry, fame, and relentless work ethic. Through decades of success and personal struggle, he remains a figure of resilience, integrity, and deep self-awareness, offering lessons that extend far beyond Hollywood's bright lights. A life beyond the screen. Ron Howard's story is one of duality, the celebrated public icon and the private man navigating invisible struggles. From Opie Taylor to award-winning director, his life blends creativity, pressure, and profound personal reflection. He has learned the limits of control, the value of family, and the weight of absence. In opening up about regrets, challenges, and the emotional costs of fame, he reminds us that every achievement carries unseen consequences. At 71, his legacy is not only measured in box office success, but in the courage to confront the personal battles that have defined him behind the camera.